All right, everybody. Welcome to tonight's presentation on Team Building Tuesday, and I'm back from a little vacation. It's so funny, guys. Lisa and I couldn't wait. After 3 or 4 days, we were like ready to get back to work, and it's like it's incredible. We love what we do so much, and we miss y'all because we're so used to seeing you guys on a regular, everyday basis. Particularly those of you that are really building hard and helping a lot of people. But it was a really good reset for us. But we know in this day and age, in this time in history, people need us more than ever. So we actually came back a day earlier than we were supposed to, yesterday morning, actually. And we weren't supposed to come back till tonight, but just to get back in normal function order so we can be here to help other people. So anyway, tonight's topic is building the business by serving others. Building your personal business by or while serving others, a focus on them. And I think this in this time in history, with several things that are happening that make this time very challenging for most people, coming from the heart and positioning yourself to build your business in that capacity is more important than ever before. So let's just talk about the challenging times we're in right now, just for a second, and how we're positioned to really be able to help people. If you think about it right now, here's some of the challenges that we're facing. And if you are going to build a business when there's challenging times and people are suffering and struggling, the only way you can successfully build a business during that time is to focus on how what you do helps them and helps them only. You can't worry about yourself. That will happen automatically when you have a successful company and business that is helping other people. You'll automatically succeed. You don't have to pay attention to that. But the most important thing is framing this and positioning this authentically, right? From the heart, that you are helping people bridge a gap in their life in a challenging and struggling time. And that's where it has to come from. It has to all come from the heart. It can't be because of a sense of gain for you. Although you're going to gain, because that's what successful entrepreneurs do when they help people who need help, right? Entrepreneurs solve problems, and we have a lot of challenging things going on right now that we have the capacity to help and solve a lot of problems. So let's just talk about the times we're in. Obviously, we have the COVID challenge, so social distancing, coronavirus challenge, and we don't know how long it's going to go. We don't know how long it's going to go, although there's been things that have helped people, there is a lot of people suffering and struggling and losing out on things. That is very sad to see. But I know I can help them conserve everything that they have and even become more successful in a challenging time like we're in right now. So that's the first thing we have is people are struggling. They don't know what's going to happen with COVID. They don't know when a vaccine is going to come out or when businesses are going to get back to normal or what it's going to be. I mean, who knows? It might be a few more months. It might be, who knows, right? But that's the first challenge. And a lot of people are struggling and suffering because of it. They might have been able to survive for a few months by robbing Peter to pay Paul and depending upon some of the government assistance that was going on and all the different things. Hopefully they had a little bit of a nest egg put away as well. But that's a challenging time. We don't know what's going to happen. And people need to find a way to bridge that gap. They need to find a way to bridge that gap or even find a way to own their own personal future. Because if you think about it, yes, this will pass, right? And that's the good news. This too shall pass, as we talked about already. But here's the important thing to realize. This isn't the first challenge of our life, and I hope, and it's not going to be the last one, although hopefully it's never like this again, where it's a crazy pandemic, right? Hopefully never again. Hopefully this is the only time in any of our lives we'll ever have to deal with this. But it's not the last challenge people are going to have in their life. And how great would it be when this passes and then every single one of us faces the next challenge in our life, whatever it might be, that money is taken care of so we don't have to worry about money because it's handled and we can focus on solving the problems, right? And that's exactly what we can do if we utilize and leverage this business properly to help other people. It's preparing us for the next challenge. And a lot of people want to know, why is it that your company has been so successful during this process? Why are you growing so fast in a challenging time where most companies are just dying and most people are struggling just to keep their lights on, or a lot of people anyway are struggling to keep their lights on? And the reason is because when you are a solutions-oriented company like Market America is, and you're focusing on solving problems and knowing how to anticipate the challenges and be able to help solve problems, when people need more help, we can help more people. Let me repeat that. When people need more help, we can help more people because we have the solutions and we're designed to help people who need help, whether it be shopping from home instead of going to stores and exposing themselves to, potential harm, right? Whether it be, getting products and services that can help their immune function, help their health, help their wellness, help their, their health capacity to handle challenging times a little better, right? That's another thing that we offer a solution to. We also offer a solution financially to offer those type of things that in a lot of places you can't find them anymore, right? Because they're sold out, right? But we can get them in people's hand and offer them something that they're been trying to find everywhere. Like, for example, disinfectant wipes. I mean, I can't find them anywhere, but we have them in stock, right, at the company, the alcohol-based disinfectant wipes, right? So it just kind of shows you how we can solve problems when people need it. And that's really what it's all about, is just helping other people. And here's the bottom line, guys, as I get into this, that's the first challenge, right? And the solution that we offer, not only products, not only services, not only the way for consumers to buy from us, but here's another solution we offer. And this is how I position my own personal agenda in the world. And that is to eradicate economic and mental poverty through entrepreneurship. That's my position, that I think when I'm out there promoting my Market America business and helping people create networking platforms so they can professionally network with people digitally, self-educate to get their mind right so they know how to be an entrepreneur, right? So we can get rid of not only the economic poverty, but also the mental poverty that sometimes is self-inflicted upon people because they don't have the right mindset, right? So my goal in this whole big grand scheme of things, and I want you to be a part of this if you're not already, which most of you are, is to be a part of eradicating economic and mental poverty through entrepreneurship. That's really what it's all about, right? So that's the solution that we offer here, several of the solutions that we offer in this challenging time. And because we have something that isn't like most people think it is, it's not what people have a preconceived notion on, and it solves so many problems and offers people opportunity where they can't find it in other places. We are growing faster than ever because we can help people now. So that's the first challenge that we're going through. I want to talk about how we're going to frame that, position that. Let me talk about the second challenge we're going through. Obviously, it's no secret. The second challenge that happened is, there is a lot of concern out there about equality and talks about equality. Now, I'm not going to get into the politics on all that stuff because sadly enough, we're in an election year. And both parties are going to frame whatever they can to try to get an edge and angle, and it's a sad thing. And I feel bad for this equality movement coming at the time it is because it's going to be seen through political perspectives, no matter how it's designed. The heart of the movement and the different reasons why different, political worlds are leveraging it is sad in my mind. But the reality of it is there is a struggle there. There's a challenge. And here's what I'd like to say, right? Yes, we want equality. I think equality should be everywhere. I think we all agree, because we're all good people, equality everywhere. And let me tell you what really brings things together, right? Mutual economics is a great equalizer. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I'm going to tell you something. When you financially connect people And it doesn't matter what their age is, what their background is, what their sex, race, ethnicity, or financial position is. And you collect them together to have a mutual economic thread that runs through them. I think that bridges and creates the biggest equalizer in the world. And that's the second solution we can offer. Think about BV flows up 100% of 100%. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what's your age, what's your background, what sex you are, what race you are, what ethnicity you are, and how much money you have in the bank or how much debt you have. It doesn't care. Everybody gets 100%. No tiers, no percentages, no levels. You want to talk about equalizing, right? I don't think there's anything in the world that creates equality like that, right? When you think about opportunity and business, right? So that's the second thing we can offer as a solution in our businesses to get people working together and functioning as a unit, functioning as a what I call collective consumer and individual influence. And it does not segregate anybody. We're all the same one team, one dream, with the same focus, creating volume that everybody gets 100% credit for. So that's what it's all about to me. I mean, I absolutely love that, and it's great. I mean, look at the diversity of the whole company, our organization. I mean, we have people, all walks, races, religions, creed, colors, all different, and we all work together, 100% of 100%. We have a vested interest, and that stuff never crosses anybody's mind. And if it does, I've never seen it, right? That's an incredible thing for me, and I just absolutely love it. So anyway, that's the second challenge we're in, and we have a way to what? Unite people through mutual economics. Our business plan is the most perfect mutual economic system in the world. I mean, no percentages, no levels, 100% bottom to top. It just is what it is, right? So that's that, right? So that's the two challenges that we're in, and obviously we have the massive solutions for it, massive solutions. But the bottom line is we can help. And when you talk to people about these two things, you have to come from a position of offering others, of offering and serving others, how you can help them from the heart. Not about what you make. It doesn't matter what I make. My goal right now is to help every single person that's struggling, that has a challenge, that's in a position where they don't know what to do, how to frame their life to be able to survive and thrive in a challenging time. They might have a business that's been walloped. They might have a business that's doing okay. They might have a business that they can't even operate right now because of the state they live in, right? But my goal is to offer them something that can not only bridge a gap, but it could even sometimes make them more financially successful than when their business was operating. I can do it. We can do it as a collective unit of people, right? It's not about you or us, though. No one gives a crap. Right now, no one cares what it's going to do for you. And guess what? You shouldn't care what it's going to do for you either, because our business plan is designed where if you just help other people, you can get anything in life you want in this business if you just help enough other people get what they want. It's a Zig Ziglar quote that is more true in our business than anything else I've ever seen. You can help, you can succeed to any level you want in this business if you just help enough other people get what they want and succeed themselves. And that's what it's all about. It's about coming from the heart, and it's about what you can do to serve others, what you can do to guide and help and assist others create success in their life and bridge a gap financially and set them up to never have to worry about money again, or just financially bridge a gap where it helps them just span this challenging time until things get back to normal, however long it is, right? So that's really what it's all about, and that's where we're at. So when you start talking about it, again, mutual economics is a great equalizer. And then we all have to help people. And guess what? Because 100% flows up, we're not looking at different people because of the percentage we get from them, because it's 100% to infinity. Everybody shares equally in the business that we generate together. Man, when you think about it, this has so much far-reaching impact than just helping people make $2,100 or $3,600 a week of residual income. It has so many more social influences involved than simply economics. Because when you build business where you have you're unified with other people and you have a common goal and everybody shares in the credit of what you do together, it breaks down barriers like I've never seen before. So when you think about the challenging time with COVID, plus this challenging time of equality and how what we do to offer solutions and all these, again, there's nothing that's perfect, right? But man, I'm telling you, I've seen nothing that offers solutions in these two major challenging situations than us. I haven't even seen anything that remotely comes close. I may be a little biased because I'm passionate about what we're doing, but I'm telling you, even trying to get rid of all, but I have seen nothing that comes close, right? But the reality of it is people need to hear about us. So let's just talk about how we do this. First and foremost, we have to build relationships. That's number one. We have to focus on building relationships and not trying to sell people. We don't need to sell anybody right now. People need what we have. All we need to do is get the information out and see who can use and benefit and create some success, right, to help them in our current situation. That's the first thing we can do. That's the first thing we need to do, right? Right? We need to build relationships. Ask people how things are going. Ask them if there's anything that they need to bridge in their life. Talk to them. See if there's anything you can do in terms of referring business to people that might be struggling or helping them in any way you can, because in the capacity that you have. That's number one. And remember this, when people come into business, remember this, rules without relationships equals rebellion. When people get started into business, you're going to give them some rules, some guidelines that to follow, some policy. If you don't have a relationship with them and they're expected to follow policy, rules without relationships equals rebellion. You need to have a relationship with the people that you're working with, right? But also you need to have a relationship because that's more important to them than anything else. That's the only thing that will get them comfortable enough to listen to what you have to say, and either help you by giving recommendations or referrals to people who can benefit from what we have, or help themselves if they need it. So everything has to come from the heart, guys. It has to come from the heart, right? So when you start talking to people, I'm going to give you two major things, and then I'm going to open this up to some comments. But when I start talking to people right now, right, I have a very important position. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell a story. And you need to all figure out the story that you're going to tell to open up their mind. Remember, stories tell, science or techniques sell. Nobody wants to be sold right now. Stories tell, right? So you need to figure out the story that you're going to share. That's, I mean, honest in it as a story. You just got to have it framed properly. So when you share with people, they realize what this has done for you and why your positioning is better than ever and how you can help others, right? So tell your story, right? For example, when I'm reaching out to people and talking to them, I'm letting them know, hey, just so you know, just a little heads up and background of me. I hope everything's going good for you. And I've already had some dialogue with them. I've been talking with them about themselves. But hey, I just want to let you know that business for us is the best it's ever been. And there's a reason for that. And we just be able to help more people than ever. And when we're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, when you can help solve problems for people when they really need help, I mean, success automatically follows. And we're really helping a lot of people right now, probably more than ever. So we've been able to be more successful than probably ever. And what this business has been able to do for me is that when the pandemic hit, I didn't have to worry about finances at all, like a lot of people did. This business was designed for a challenging, struggling time, and I built it before I needed it, right? So I've been able to just focus on helping other people who needed help. I didn't have to worry about my own financial situation this whole time, which has been really, really nice. Or like that's for me. If it's you and you haven't completely settled your way and created your long-term big-time residual, I mean, a lot of people on here that have a really nice income coming in that are in a team that are listening. But if you're not where you want to be financially, you can say, hey, man, this really has bridged the gap for me financially and helped me fill some gaps that I otherwise would have been in deep trouble with. And I just wanted you to know that this has done that for me, and a lot of people could get that benefit. So that's the second thing. Third thing is, hey, listen, I just started, and the reason why I just started is I know this too shall pass, but I'm positioning myself with this business to where I can pay for my kids' college, or I'll never have to worry about money again, in the next 6 months to a year. You just forecast it. But you have to tell your story, why you're doing the business, what it's done for you, particularly in this challenging time. Tell your story. People remember stories. They don't remember science. People remember stories. They don't remember the compensation plan the first time. They remember the concepts, but they don't remember anything as much as they remember your story, right? Your story. And you just need to make sure that you have your story easily accessible to deliver it to people as to either what this business has done for you so far or what it's doing for you and going to do for you. Forecast it. Because listen, nobody wants to follow somebody who doesn't know where they're going. Wouldn't you agree? So you need to forecast and let them know, hey, I might have just started recently, right? But I'm going to tell you something, by the end of next year, I'm never going to have to worry about money ever again. And right now I'm helping more people than ever. I'm going to have a lot of people that are going to be like that because of what we've been able to do, right? It's just telling the story. That's why you're doing it and what it's going to do for you. We call that a 2-minute commercial in the business model. So that's that. So that's the first thing I want to give you advice on. Build relationships. Make sure you're coming from the heart in everything you talk about. Make sure it's about how you can help other people, right? And tell your story and share with them what it is that how we're framed so well right now to help other people. Now, the last thing is, how do we get out there and share? Because here's the thing. We have a way to help all these people from all these different things: financial, health, wellness, economics, even mental. I mean, think about when you have hope. How many of you agree that this business provides hope too? Wouldn't you agree? It really, really does. And when you have hope and you know you're going in the right direction, do you know how much mental stability that provides for people when they know they have something that has the answer, a pot at the end of the rainbow that's so real that they'll be able to reach out and touch it in the next 6 months or a year or 18 months or however aggressive they want to be at building it, and have people that'll coach them and guide them along the way. Think about that. Not only does it it's a great equalizer with all types of different people with different backgrounds, all working together, but also helps each person provide hope, which creates some mental stability for them in these struggles. I mean, there's so much this business offers at a time like this. We can't get into it all. But to understand, you are offering people so much when you share this business with them. But here's the hard part. How do I bring it up? Right? How do I bring this up when I know this person is struggling and I don't want them to feel I'm trying to take advantage of them? Well, first and foremost, if you're coming from the heart, they'll never feel that way, and you don't even have to worry about it. That's the first. I do not feel guilty ever, no matter how struggling someone's business is, to bring the business up to it, because I have something that can save their business, that can help them, that can bridge the gap so they don't have to suffer and struggle, especially right now. I mean, I'm telling you guys, some of you have been around a long time and you were around when the economy is really, really good. But I'm telling you, when people are desperate and they need something, they build this business exponentially faster because it's their only hope. I mean, I built 2 legs of 5,000 BV a week in 4 months, from 0 to 5,000 BV a week, 2 legs at the same time in 4 months, right? It just, I was desperate. I didn't have other option. I had to keep out of losing my home and going to bankruptcy, right? After the real estate debacles in 2006, 7, and 8. It was right then. I was a nationalist in this business, but I needed not 10 grand a month. I needed 22,000 a month to break even after the real estate debacles that I went through. I was able in 4 months to build basically a center from 0 to 5,000 BV a week up both a left and right side. That's possible, but it's an all-in mentality. And some people are going to do it because they have to. And I can show them how, because guess what? I did it. So if you have people that need that and you haven't done it yet, and they need it and they're willing to put the effort in, get me on the phone, because I have. I can direct them, guide them to it. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's not going to be cake, but I'm going to tell you something. It's possible, and it's completely doable with someone that's passionate enough and they need it bad enough. They can get it done. And I'm not the only one. There's been a lot of people in the company that have built centers that fast because they absolutely desperately needed it, right? But at the same time, it's always about other people. You're not worried about yourself. You're focusing on how you can help them, how you can help them get to the level that they need, right? So how do you bring it up? It's the same as we always talked about, only it's a different position. I want you guys to grab a pen and pad, and I want to write some of these key points down. Because right now, guys, every single person out there needs to hear about this business. Whether it's for them or not, I don't care. Because although every single person might not need this business, they know somebody who does. They know somebody who does. And you have to care enough about people to maybe put yourself out of maybe some scrutiny by bringing up the business, because you can save somebody's financial destiny. You can have the opportunity to help so many people when they desperately need it. And I'm telling you right now, there's people in tears at this very moment that you know that are looking for something. And the only reason why they don't know about something that can help them is because you haven't brought up the guts enough to tell them yet. And I'm not just picking on y'all, because I have some of them people too that I've hesitated. And I've made millions in the business. There's no excuse for any of us not to share this with everybody, but not to try to get them. It's about what? Just letting people know what you have. And here's how I frame it, and here's how I position it. I mean, I have 3 meetings this week, one starting tomorrow night. I like personals on top of all types of meetings with all kinds of other partners now that I got back. This is my approach. And you can do this both with the product and the business. You just change about the business. Here's what I do. Let's just say I'm talking to Pat. Hey, Pat, what's going on, brother? Wave to me, Pat. There you go. So here's the deal. So if I'm going to call Pat, right, and I just want to let Pat know what's going on, right? I'm just going to call up Pat. Hey, Pat, how's things going for you, man? How you guys surviving, dude? Staying safe? Awesome, great. Listen, here's the reason why I called. You get rest. Hey, the reason why I call is, I only got a quick second. The reason why I called is, I found myself recently in a very, very, very unique position, Pat. And I can help a lot of people right now who desperately need it. So that's the first thing. Pat, I found myself in a position recently to have the capacity to help a lot of people right now that desperately need it. Understand? That's first thing, guys. Desperately need it. Just a little heads up, so you just tell them a little more about it. A little heads up here is, as you well know, a lot of businesses have been suffering. But I started a business that's actually expanding at probably the fastest rate we ever had, because we have solutions for people during this current challenging time. We have massive solutions for people during this very difficult time, right? Very difficult time. And you can elaborate on the different things that are going on out there, right? Now, here's the thing, Pat. I know you may or may not need anything I have to say, anything that we have to offer here, because you seem like you're doing okay and you've been surviving, and that's good. But here's what I like to do. I would like to have you just evaluate what I'm doing, because all I'm trying to do is make everybody aware of what I have, so that when they come across someone who needs some of the many benefits we offer, you can get them over to me and I can help them out as fast as possible. Can we sit down for about 45 minutes and I'll go through it with you, just so you are fully aware at all the things that we can help people with in this current situation. Again, probably, you may or may not need anything I talk about. I'm fine with that. I just need everybody to know about it, because there's tons of people who need it. And even if it's not for you, you're going to probably know people that you can send over my way and I can help them. And it could be a life-changing, or a major life-impacting thing for them, right? So would you mind getting together with me for 45 minutes over Zoom or in person, depending on where you're at and how comfortable you are with that, and we'll talk about it. And that's the approach, guys. And that's the approach I'm using. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not trying to get anybody. I'm not trying to convince anybody. All I want people to see is, and when I sit down with them, I'm going to talk about the 3-4 ways that I can help people right now in this current situation. And man, when they hear about those things, the worst thing you're going to do, the worst case scenario is they'll probably be able to use the product and hopefully stay healthy, right? Right? Just or refer some people who can use a product and hopefully stay healthy, right? You know, they might know somebody financially that is desperately looking for a way to bridge a gap. Or maybe they might know a business owner. Hey, you might know a business. That's another thing you said. You might know some business owners that aren't functioning at full capacity right now, and they need to find a way to use digital technology to bridge a gap with their business and stay in touch with their clients. When they get back to normal business, they'll remember them, number one, but number two, they'll also what? They'll also be able to help earn income at the same time by offering digital services. We can coach them how to do that too. We're experts at it, right? Man, it is what it's all about. And Mileva just said her small business has been her focus, and it's been awesome. More for them than us. Here's the best part. We don't need people. They need us right now. So we're not going out there trying to sell people anything. All we're trying to do is offer solutions. Just offer solutions, guys. I found myself in a position to be able to help a lot of people who desperately need it recently. Found myself in that spot. As you well know, while most businesses have been suffering and struggling, I started the business, and because we have solutions for people during this challenging time, we're growing faster than ever. Because we can make a massive impact right now and solve a lot of problems that nothing else can. I know you may or not need anything I have to say, Pat, about this, but I need you to know about it for one simple reason. Whether it's for you or not, you're going to come across people who need some of the things that we have, and I just want to make sure you can send them my way so I can help them. When can we sit down? I can give you a full rundown on what it is I do so you know how to comfortably send people my way. I don't want you to send anybody to me, by the way, until you have 100% confidence that it's going to be good for them. That's something I like to throw in there. I don't want you to send me anybody until you have 100% confidence that you know it's going to be good for them. Is that fair? And that's what I say. Is that fair? Yeah, so now they know I'm the what? I'm not going to sell them. I'm not going to pitch them. I'm not going to try to twist their arm. And it's just going to be, I'm going to run through it. I'm going to be passionate about it. I'm going to be stoked about it. Why? Because I know every person that's eyes get in front of this business, I can change their life or somebody that they know. And I'm not going to shortchange it by being, not excited or not passionate, really, not really excited, because it's a different frame to me. It's not about me being excited. It's more about me being passionate. It's not like as you can see, my energy is not excitement. It's what? It's passion and sincerity. That's what it is. And I want people to know I can help them. And I can help people, and I will do whatever it takes. Right? Right now, one of my major things is finding people that have businesses that can't function at full capacity and help them create platforms that create more revenue for them from a distant digital learning capacity, whether it be personal trainers, offering online clinics, right, that we could teach them how to do it Zoom, but more importantly, also, when they're doing online training things, people have to maybe buy some products or services so they can do and take certain products and services that would help them, and that creates revenue for the person performing it. Or like, for example, estheticians, right? Or makeup artists or hair care studios or hair studios or whatever that can't function the way we were. Now we can show them how to offer digital services to their clients so that they can keep in touch with them during this time, but also they can offer them ways to teach them how to do things from home for themselves, right? Offer some self-care tips. But in order for them to attend, they have to have the product bundle that you offer because they need the products to learn how to use them to create their own self-care. Now, all of a sudden, you're bridging gaps financially. You understand what I'm saying? We can do this for all kinds of businesses. Right? And that's a focus here. So while you're going through this presentation, you're sharing with people these things and how it works. But that's the approach. Now you can change it up with product, right? So the same approach as I said, people who desperately need it, our business is growing, and you might not need what we have to offer yourself, but you might know the right people, and I want you to understand it. So when you come across someone, you have 100% confidence to send them my way, and I can help them from a financial perspective, right? But you can say the same exact and use the same exact approach from a product's position. You know, hey Norma, listen, it's Don. I only have a quick second. The reason why I called you is because I find myself in a unique position, an incredibly unique position right now, to help a lot of people who may desperately need it. You know, while most people are struggling, trying to figure out what they should do from a health perspective and from a skin perspective, whatever it might be, right? We found a way to be able to offer solutions to people like that, to be able to help them enhance their health, enhance their skin health, enhance their, their health through some products that we have available that have a massive impact and implication on long-term wellness and immune function and all those type of things. I understand you may be perfectly set yourself, or you may not be. I'm not really sure. But all I'd like you to do is evaluate some things that we have so you can understand all the benefits that we have, so that you can spread the word to people when you find people that just don't know what they should do nutritionally right now, or don't know what they should do with cosmetics. Would you evaluate these products for me? Does that make sense? And you can get them samples. It's the same exact approach, but it's all about how you can help people, and that they won't be able to recommend people unless they experience, understand it, or see it. And that's my approach, guys. And then guess what? When I'm showing the product, I just have them try it. I give them a little questionnaire. What did you like most about the product? Is this something that you think people could benefit from? Yes. Who are they? Is this something you think you could benefit from? And if it were available to you, would you buy it if it was affordable? Yes or no? All of a sudden, that little questionnaire at the end of them trying a product tells you if they're going to be a customer or not. Almost like the health survey. You can use a health survey to do it. But when it comes down to business, you just show people the plan, and you get them to evaluate the full plan. And when you're showing the plan, you have to tell them that precursor. You have to tell them all the things that we can offer to help people up front from a financial aspect. And a lot of the things that we can offer to help serve small business owners. It's really what it's all about. But if it sounds like a sales pitch, guys, you lost them. It's got to come from here, and it has to be 100% authentic. That I do not care if this person gets in for me. I care if they get in for them. Does that make sense? That's really what it's all about. And it's got to come from the heart. And that's the approach that I think is the most perfect approach, because it's authentic, it's real, it's true. And the only challenge that you'll have is if you don't feel that you can help people as fast as I know we can, you just need to use a third party that knows we can, like me, right? Because I know I can help people completely change. I mean, I have people in the business that I want to talk to, because I know in 3-4 months, your life can be completely 360, making 6 figures and better if you really needed to and made it happen, right? I know it for a fact, right? And I know what you guys are capable of, and it's so much more than you think is possible, because I know, you know why? Because I did it. And mass majority, you can do it too. Completely. And here's the most important part. Even if you don't desperately need it, other people that you know do. And if you lead them to this, you will, and you change their life. I'm going to tell you something. It's the what I like to call the psychic income that you get is better than any money income you'll ever get. When you know you made a massive difference in somebody's life, changed their life, saved their financial future because of them having the opportunity to do this. That's the position here. That's what it's all about. So that's what I want to share with you guys this evening. And what I'd like to do just real quick now is any questions that you guys have, or anybody want to add to this. A lot of Mileva, Darwin, we've been talking a lot about this, but I just want to get back to it because, that's more important now than even 4 months ago when this thing first started, because no one knows when this is what the solution is for all these crazy, challenging things. I mean, I'll tell you, I don't think anything to be better until after the election, because I think that has something to do with a lot of this stuff. But regardless, whether it does or it doesn't, it's months yet, and we will always going to need what we have. But right now, we need this more than ever. So between Vina, Darwin, Toby, any of y'all that have been a big, just offer anything, Mileva. Just give everybody some advice about this from your perspective too, if you don't mind. Any of y'all, just jump in.
I can go. Everybody's being shy.
Thanks. Yeah. No, I think everybody's just searching for that mute button. Go ahead, Mileva.
Honestly, I think there's been a huge fire lit under me these past few weeks because I've had just this thought about small business. Like, as some of you may know, I started a women's networking group with a friend. She and I have taken it over. And I'm just seeing a lot of people in small business that can't be up at full capacity like Don was talking about. But also Cullen Haskins' local really got to me, where he talks about the cash flow quadrant for those that watched. And it made me realize that so many small business are still on the left side of the quadrant in that time for dollars, always needed income, right? Whether they're self-employed or employee. And they can only move to the right side of the quadrant if they're ready to be big business, which is like tiers of management and leadership or whatever, so they can walk away, which most people that I've built relationships in small business don't want that. They didn't become small business because they wanted to build this like massive company and hire all these people. They had a passion to do something, thought they could do better than their boss, and created their own business to be able to offer solutions to customers. Like, that's why they created their businesses, you know? So the only other option would then for them to move into the I quadrant. And so I've become really passionate because Cullen talked about the I quadrant being Cullen not needed income. And I was like, wow, like CNN, Cullen not needed. I'm like, MNN, Mileva not needed income. Like, that's the I quadrant. And I'm like, what if I could help small business move from the S quadrant on the left-hand side into leveraged income, the I on the right-hand side. And I see so many friends and colleagues and people in small business that like work like a dog and still live paycheck to paycheck, and go to take a vacation and like can't get away because they have clients and customers and whatever reaching out to them 24/7. And I'm like, there has to be a better way. And then I was like, well, what if there was a business vehicle out there that financially connected small business together so that it could help them build scale and share of customer and add more revenue streams with their own business, like a resource hub, but yet could financially connect them together to move them into that I quadrant. And then I was like, oh yeah, we own it. Like, it's Market America, hey. And so that really like lit a fire under me because I have like small business people in my network that I can help. And so my evaluation approach has been kind of like what Don said, but I've just been reaching out to small business people saying, hey, listen, I really believe that I have a solution for a lot of small businesses right now. I would love to run it by you. I know you've got your own thing going on and you're set, but I really think there are a lot of people I could help. I would love for you to evaluate it for me, give me some feedback, because you might help me frame the narrative, but you also might know some people I can help. I'd really appreciate sharing it with you. I've got a yes every single time. I even had someone that just told me a couple months ago that she wasn't going to take a look at the business. Not that I ever directly asked her, but because she started her own thing and she was super lit up about it. And I'm like, hey, I was really excited to share it with you what I have going on, but like, I'm so glad you're lit up and we'll support each other. That's amazing. To, we just talked this morning and I used that same approach with her. And she was like, listen, I'm always open. And I was like, okay. Well, let's go. I had 4 personal appointments this week using that evaluation approach with small business. And for me, I believe it's going to be a shorter learning curve because they already have a clientele, people that they serve. Now it's about being able to serve them in other areas. So it's like not building something from scratch. It's helping them build additional. And we can help any single person. Actually, someone I sat down with today, life insurance, she actually tried to recruit me and I flipped it on her with the evaluation approach, just saying, listen, like, you know, a lot of people that I could be able to help. I'd love to share with you because I'm expanding so rapidly right now. I can't keep up. We sat down, showed her what we've got going on, drew out the business plan. And it's so funny because like nothing really piqued her other than she kept trying to tell me how great what she was doing was. But we got into health and wellness, talking about like vitamins and supplements because I had her filling out the home shopping list and I noticed she left that blank. Do you take any like vitamins and supplements, something for immune during this time? And she was like, oh yeah, well my husband started taking this powder stuff it tastes like crap. I don't really like it. Like, we had a conversation. All of a sudden it turned into her husband works for Big Pharma, but wants to make a pivot because he is so against what Big Pharma is doing and wanting to create more wellness solutions. He's very into like wellness. And I was like, girl, Nutrimetrics, we got to talk about it. And then she was like, well, this could be a huge fit for my husband. That's when she told me he's making a career move and looking to offer his expertise. He used to work in the facilities that he would develop vaccines. That's what he did. Developed vaccines for Big Pharma. And now he's looking to pivot into health and wellness and be able to create better support. So anyway, I don't want to ramble too long, but that's been my evaluation approach, focusing in small business, because we can help people right now. Even if it's restaurants having to go, 20% capacity, 25% capacity right now, even if they're doing more carryout, why not offer them a free rate quote with iTransact? Listen, if we can save them money on their credit card processing fees, like, that's money back in their pocket, and we get 40% BV on that. So, I mean, if you think about ways that you can help save people money or put more value into their customers to help create more loyalty, build more revenue, I have ears perking up left and right. It's been awesome. Awesome.
I love it. And so you guys know, I've been advocating for people to network, to create these type of businesses forever. And what I did to make it easy is I'm actually investing thousands of dollars right now to create a virtual platform that people can use to network. Because Mileva, I'll never forget the first networking event that we went to. It was in Langford. It was at the Raymore and Flanagan's, right, or whatever, furniture shop, right, Mileva? And we went, and I introduced her, to the networking world. It's great. Now it's hard to do it in person. But she's running her own networking groups now. That's what it's all about. Darwin, I took him to a first one we did that first we did in Florida 6 months or whatever it was ago. And that led to so much new growth that just by one of the gentlemen that we met there led to so much new business for them from the first event. And you could do these daily, through digital platforms as well, but I'm making it really, really easy for people to do it. It's challenging sometimes to find one that you can fit, and I'm creating something that everybody's gonna be able to use. So stay tuned. I'm gonna teach everybody how to do that professional networking from social distance era too, which is great. So I'm excited. Mileva, thanks for that. Go ahead, Darwin. I know you want to go next.
I mean, we just actually did I went, Coach Ray, who we met at the Chamber of Commerce, him and I did a networking event last week. And, one of the guys that was there, I mean, I did that same approach on him. I said, hey, look, man, I said, I know he's in printing. And I said, look, I know people that are hurting right now. And basically I said, I just want to talk to you. I want to have a cup of coffee with you. And, let's share some ideas. Let me share what I'm doing. And then, but more importantly, how can I lead people to you? Because I have a huge network here. And I mean, it was like no brainer. He was like, yeah, let's do it. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is, when you're showing the plan, Don, you hit it like the nail on the head with the Zig Ziglar quote. You can have everything you want if you're willing to help enough other people. One of the key things that I plan, each man is in help. One of the things or actually when you get to the activates slide, one of the key things that I try to tell people from that slide on is it's no longer about you. Because if you're at this point where you are either evaluating it or you've actually decided to come on and be a partner, once you start to activate, once you start to bring other people on, it's no longer about you. It's about them. And if you would just work to make them successful, that's going to make you successful by default, because like he said, the way the plan is, it's 100% of 100%. So, taking the focus off of you. Hey, look, even if it's one freaking leg. I mean, Frank Kiefer says, if you build one leg this year and one leg next year, you did the 2 to 3 year plan, right?
Right. That's
so
right.
even if it's one leg that you're building, man, build it. Care more about those people than you do your own business right now. Your time is going to come.
Thanks, Darwin. That's awesome. That's what it's all about, guys. It's all about coming from the heart. Vina, did you want to go? Sister?
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing.
Excuse me.
I mean, obviously, we have so many inspirational people, and I can sit here and listen to Mileva forever. She's amazing. I am one of those casualties. I lost 2 businesses in this. And in my industry, whether it's restaurant industry or whether it's the beauty industry, the one thing we've really lost control of is control. You know, we're used to having control of our own businesses, and we've lost control. We now have someone telling us when, where, and how we can open. And with this company, and this is the biggest thing, this may sound minor to a lot of you, but understand, I've been a business owner for over 25 years. And to lose control over something you've worked and put your heart and soul into, it's beyond devastating. And like I say, I'm the person you're talking to. I'm going to be the person you're coming out and talking to. We're devastated. This beauty industry is devastated. And I'm not even being dramatic about it, right? But here's the beautiful thing about this company is that we can bring back that control. I don't feel, you know, I have felt like a loss of control for a long time because I get emotional because I lost my business. I lost it, right? But this company, sorry, maybe go to the next person.
You're good.
But I'm the person you guys are talking to. I am the person that it's very tough, and it's not getting easier. Sorry, you guys. I usually have my stuff better together here, but here's the thing. You know, we give that a happy face. We give that, especially me, right? I'm in this business. I finally realized that I'm in this business because I can continue to help change my industry. And we all can, because we are really the solution. Had I not had this business, had I not had the opportunity to build this business, you guys, I don't know what, I would have been in a corner. I rocking, to be honest with you. I don't know what I would have done. But I guess what I'm saying is that if you go, like Dawn said, if you go with that heart of helping, you go knowing that not just you have solutions, but you need to have a plan when you're talking to these people, and especially in the beauty industry, because we've lost control. We have totally lost control of everything. So the only thing we have left to do is us. And now we have a platform. We have a platform, you guys, that we can now in the beauty industry find. I have a platform that now what I'm doing, listen, you guys are like my family, so I'm not typically this emotional about this to the real world, right? Just to you guys. But I now have a platform, and I work with so many amazing beauty industry professionals in this company. And you do too. All of you have that access to work. I mean, my gosh, I mean, we have Dawn, which is phenomenal, but you guys, we have Lisa Martin, you know, field director of Motives. She's our senior partner. We have so much access for what these beauty industry professionals need right now. Just to feel like you have a little bit of power back is huge. Just to know that I can continue to talk about my industry, to talk about products, not just any products, but these amazing products. So there's a platform out here that we still need so many people to help us with. So I guess what I'm saying is this, when you go with that servant heart, like Dawn talked about, it changes everything. When someone comes to me, like, you know, I showed Dawn today, I get so many people that reach out to me about wanting me to join their MLMs and all this other stuff. I know what they're trying to do. They're not looking at me. I'm an esthetician. Why do I want to go sell insurance? I'm an esthetician. How can you help me with what I'm doing right here and right now? What can you do for me? This is a solution. This is something that we can consistently continue to work with. We're working with cutting edge products. We're working with with people in this beauty industry that are on the cutting edge themselves, that are phenomenal. So I guess what I'm saying is just that. I mean, I don't mean to to go about it too much, but it's a tough time. It's a really tough time. You know, you've got Becky that, bless her heart, she's working her tail off keeping her business going that she hasn't had it since 1950, I think 58. You know, you've got estheticians on here that literally can't do what they paid a lot of money to do, and it's their passion. They can't do it anymore. So you guys, please don't do people a disservice by not reaching out. It is a disservice to these beauty industry professionals by not reaching out and saying, hey, how can I help you? I mean, how hard is that, right? So I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't mean to get emotional on you, but
don't apologize. I mean, that was listen. Thanks for being so real and being you know, transparent for everybody, because that's really what it's all about. And I want you guys to know something. When I talk to Vina, you know, and I talk and Becky and anybody else that has these things, like I am like shaking inside, saying I freaking can change everything for this if we just do this, and this, because I know it. And I know what the capacity and the capability of it, and Vina has proven it. I mean, what she's done so far. But I'm just telling you, it's just a fraction of what you're going to end up doing. And, you know, things don't happen to you. They happen for you. And I want you guys to remember that. Things that happen in life, Vina, Becky, Versanti, a lot of you guys are on here. This didn't happen to you. It happened for you. There's a greater reason and a greater impact that you're going to be able to make because of this current situation. It's going to make you stronger, make you better. And here's the best thing. Your businesses, yeah, temporarily might not be there, Vina, but you know as well as I do, you're never good. You know, you'll always be an esthetician, and you'll be back stronger than ever, because that's just what you do, and that's your identity. Same thing with Becky in her school. But the reality is, I know what you guys can do. It didn't happen to you. It happened for you. And because now you can make an impact greater than ever before. And the connections that you guys all have need what you have. And because you're going through it yourself, you can't lead anybody through the fire unless you've been through the fire yourself. And that's why you guys are going to make an impact. And I will always, always, always push each person who can do more and be more for other people, simply because I know what their capacity and capabilities are. And I'm so passionate, especially when I see how much it matters to just offer that little bit of guidance and a little nudge or a tap or a word or just to be somebody to talk to and listen to so we can move forward. So I appreciate you so much for being open with that, Vina. And on that, guys, I'm going to wrap up. Guys, go out there and share this with people. And if you're there and if you're struggling right now and you believe what I just said, this thing didn't happen to you, it happened for you. I know it sucks to even hear it when it's in tough time, but it's true. And you're going to have that story, but you're going to be able to help and guide other people through a challenging time, because you're going to make it, because you have the answer. You have the answer, and you just need to go out there and offer this answer to everybody else out there who may need it, that you have connection with, just to evaluate it, because they might not need it, but they might know somebody. But when the right person sees it, they're going to see this as a solution and an answer to their prayers, guys. And that's really what it's all about. But it all comes from coming from the heart. So I thank you all for being on. I appreciate you guys being here. Does anybody have any more